Okay, so for our second example, we can see we haven't been given the rth term again, so we need to find it. And so we're going to do that as our first step. So u sub r, just representing our rth term, it's going to be, we're going to have a fraction here, and we can see that we've got a constant denominator of 3. So for each term it's always 3. Now our first factor, okay, we can see that it increases by 1 each time, so it's going to be r with a coefficient of 1 in front of that, but it begins at 4. So when r equals 1, that first factor is 4. So 1 plus 3 will equal 4. So we have 1r plus 3, and it's squared. Now for our second factor, we can see that it increases by 2 at each term. So the coefficient of r has to be 2, so it's 2 times r. Now how do we know how much to add? Well, when r equals 1, that second factor is 5. So 2 times 1, because the coefficient of r is 2, 2 times r, 2 times 1 is 2 plus 3 gives 5, so it's going to be 2r plus 3. That's how we know what our expressions are going to be. Okay, so that's our rth term. Then we can, so we're going to let Sn again represent the sum to n terms of our series, and using sigma notation, r equals 1 to n, 3, so it's r plus 3 squared times 2r plus 3, and we continue from there. So remember, with the last example we expanded that, and that's what we're going to do again. So you can see that I've jumped in 3 lines here, and so this next line is the complete expansion. So the next line there, the third one, is the complete expansion of those brackets, and then the fourth line, collecting those terms, and then in the last line there, what I've done, you can see that I've split it up, and I've taken out any constants at the front. So the 2r cubed, which is over 3, taking the 2/3 out the front and left us just with the r cubed, and the 15r squared over 3, well, the 15 over 3 is 5, so we've taken that out the front, and the same with 36 over 3, that becomes 12 out the front. And then the last one there, we've got the sum from 1 to n terms of just the constant 27. And so what we'll do is we'll use what we know about the r cubed, r squared and r series, and we'll replace those as we did in the previous example, and then that last term there, that last series, it would just become 27 times n. Now I just realised what I meant to say, because it's 27 over 3 would be 9, so that should in fact be 9 there, so that then that last term becomes 9n. Okay, so just going to scroll that down and just simplify it just a little bit more, perhaps just combine some of that together. Okay, but we don't have to go through and have it in completely factorised form. That would be a fairly big deal. So I'll just simplify that a bit. So you can see I've put in a couple of extra lines there, just combined those first 2 terms to have a fraction over 6, and then just simplified those last 2 terms. Okay, and so that's fine to have that expression like that when it didn't ask for it to be factorised. Okay, so that's the end of that one there. The next video lesson we'll look at the next type.